Hello everyone, this is Mauri Sanchis, Hammond Endorser, and I come here 25 July 2020 to present you what is the best digital organ that ever made, Hammond XK5. And as you can see here, with XK5 system, which is the closest thing you can see to a real Hammond B3. And I will try to explain you more or less how it works. Well, actually we will go in depth to show you how it works in any of the functions that I see that are more important, and also many that you keep asking me, like for example how to save favorite sounds, or the different organ sounds that you can find in the XK5, like you can find organ pipe sounds, for example, and or classic organs. We will go into the menus and I'll show you. Before anything, I'd like to show you what is the organ setup for those who have played a B3 before. You can see that this organ is set up in the same way. And for those who have not seen a B3, then at least you will understand about it. For example, what are the use of the inverted keys, for example, the black keys. And well, we will try to do a general introduction, and then later on we will explain in detail how are with close-ups, how we can take the best out of the organ, and how a Hammond organ works actually. How does a Hammond organ work? As I said before, has the same setup as you can see here, with the drawbar sets here, and it works like with harmonics, like a pipe organ. Then, depending on the combination of sounds of drawbars, you will get a different sound. For example, you can have a sound of green onions. If you want a gospel sound, you try this. Alright, this part here is related with black keys, inverted keys. In the past, this was done what we call right now preset sounds, the sounds that are built in the organ. There's a lot of sounds. Before, when it wasn't digital, you have to put to join a lot of cables within the organ, and there you would see a bunch of cables you can't even imagine. If you press this key, as inverted keys do not sound, this key, the B, controls this set of drawbars. When you press that key, you're actually activating that. If you press B flat, then you are activating the drawbar sets. This is the most commonly used setup with the B preset. You have a sound to solo, and then you have the full organ on B flat. And the rest of sounds are also easy access. Same thing happens in the lower part. This one controls this one on B flat, and this other one controls B. So it's usual that we have the bass sound, when you are backing up, then you could use a sound like this. That's basically it. Well, I told you these two drawbars control the pedals. We have no pedals here, but we can use pedal to lower key. To send what the pedal would be, to have a pedal board. And basically you're giving a more percussion sound. First thing you have to see, as I said, is that it looks like a B3. The setup, like four sets of drawbars, 2 for the upper keyboard, 2 for the lower keyboard, and 2 for the pedals, which is exactly the same setup as a B3. Then you have a vibrato and chorus zone, which is exactly the same one, and then you have the percussion, which is exactly the same, like same way as a B3. Let's say, for example, that we take a classic organist that has never seen a digital organ. He comes here, he sits down, and everything is exactly set up in the same way. The sound is an extraordinary sound. As I said, it's the best organ right now. And with the rest of the things, it's just added value that you can enjoy thanks to the digital world. And we need to try to take profit of it, like different effects, like a wah-wah. All that can be controlled with this button, or go inside the menu to be able to customize the sound according to what we want. And everything can be saved. As I said, a classical organist will sit down and you have the normal setup, like Jimmy Smith, for example. It sounds exactly the same way. You need to know that I am connected directly to the sound card, so when you hear a Leslie, you're actually listening the digital Leslie from the XK5, the internal one. And as you can see, it sounds great. Okay, more or less, I have explained you generally about the organ, but here there's an important thing. What's the difference, basic difference between XK5 and the rest? The Hammond organ is based on contacts. When you play a B3 and you press a note, each of the contacts is sounding. This is not like a piano that has sensitivity, but in some ways it can be considered sensitive, because every contact is being activated in depending on how you release the note. Maybe you hear it now and you will see that there's no any sense on it, but I can guarantee that it gives a lot of personality to the playing of the organist, a lot of expression. So right now you will see that it's not like a B3 with all the contacts, but if we pull all the drawbars out, you will see that it sounds I don't have a lot of sensitivity, but as you can hear, it has 3 different contacts and it's very nice. The XK5 has different types of organ. If we press drawbar button, we will arrive to the option where you can choose. As you can see, I have it marked on B3. But if we go backwards, we can see A100. Between A100, B3 and C3, you need to be an expert to feel the difference. I don't get it, for example. There's a lot of parameters that you can change. And as I said before, if you are not an expert, I wouldn't touch a thing. After C3 we got the mellow, a softer organ, and then we got Vox. As you can see, it doesn't sound because we need to pull out these two drawbars. We have a box, we have also Farfisa. Whoever likes that kind of sound. And then we got pipe organ. If we add reverb, it will be very nice. And here you can modify everything. Check out the low end. What we do to create a sound in the organ is the base of everything here is the drawbars. To be able to make the sound that we are looking for. And then we use effects. Overdrive, for example. We can add from very aggressive sounds to very melodic sounds. We are basically sounding here just with percussion. You can barely hear it. A very mellow sound. To access the preset sounds from factory sounds, we take the knob and start. Remember that F comes from factory sounds. Many names will be familiar to you, like White Shade, like White Shade of Pale from Procol Harum. If you're listening to it, you will find that for somebody that doesn't know how to work with drawbars, the organist XK5 is ready by organists that know how to reach to these kind of sounds. The names will be very useful for you to remember, and the kind of organist that has created these sounds. For example, we have Emerson here, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Some Loving will be something like Give Me Some Loving. That would be the sound. This could be like a good trick for you in order to learn how to create your own sounds and see how the organists who designed these sounds made their own sounds. If you see that every time you change the sound, it's changing everything. Here the percussion is off, you have a rock sound, I think there's one called Deep Purple or something. This one is named Booker. Without percussion, this is how Green Onion should sound. Purple, let's see how it sounds. As you can see, it's without Leslie, since John Lord was an organist that would put the organ through a guitar amp, not through a Leslie, in that kind of concept. Here's a full gospel. You can hear a lot of sounds as a presets from factory, and you need to take advantage of that. Surely here. And well, here I got Toccata. Toccata is my own sound that I created within the system, and you can have a pipe organ. Very nice. Then F is factory sounds, Jim with C3, based on a C3 sound. I don't know, it's for you to keep trying. Here, wah pedal. You need to control a little bit the effect. The first section is the menu section. We got the master volume, and then when we press menu button, is where you can set up all sounds of the organ, all functions. It's very important that you see that every time you take the drawbar out or in, it will appear on the LED screen. Then, as I said before, when you find a preset sound, you will see how actually the sound is created just by looking at the screen, and you can learn a lot from there. So I'm just varying the drawbars out and in, and you can see how it moves. Now if I would go to B flat, it would change again from the other drawbar set. But as I said, it's very useful to check how the sounds are set from the factory, like this one with vibrato. This one doesn't have a vibrato. This is Jimmy McGriff sound. Well, basically, this is what it would be about the drawbar feature. Then obviously, the central panel of the organ, once you press the menu button, you have 4 arrows that help you move within the menu. You have batch control, patch control, for tuning, control, you press enter, and then you can change the way of the Leslie is acting. You can configure actually everything within the organ. You need to move around, and you go to A, B, you will see different features, C, and then it goes on and on successively. So you press button up and down and then left and right to move within the different options in the menu. Once you need to choose anything, you press enter, and then you use the value knob, for example in this case with the name, to change the letter. If you are not used to menus, or you don't know the organ, or you're just starting, I would suggest you don't enter the menu at this time. The factory sounds are very good, and you can start from there. Then, apart from this section, we go to the Leslie section. There's just 3 buttons for this. Very important in the organ functioning, and for the characteristic that the Leslie does to the organ. Okay, now we will see we have the option of having a fast Leslie, slow Leslie, or stopped, but also we can have a bypass so that the organ doesn't go through the Leslie, the digital Leslie, at any time. Right now we have it in stop, but still it's going through the digital Leslie. So it would be like you're using a Leslie in stop. Now we do the same chord with the bypass. What it means, the Leslie is not working there. You see a difference? The Leslie is working, but it's in stop. If we take the stop out, you can hear how the sound, the horn is moving. It's in a slow rotation. If we go too fast, then what I usually do is to have this same configuration as you see here. Stop is not pressed, so it means it's in slow, and then when I need to press the Leslie, I go too fast. Okay, that would be the explanation of how the Leslie works. This part here, we have the percussion, the typical percussion from B3. You have second or third, first obviously on or off. We press on. Then we have it with that volume, and lower volume. The second, the third, and slow decay or fast decay. I think they are putting like this, like this is what is the standard as on, soft, third, and slow. So you get the classic sound. Above you have something you don't have in a B3, which is an equalizer. Then in the left part you have the Vibrato Chorus knob, one for the upper manual, one for the lower manual. If you only have one, obviously you don't have to pay attention to the lower manual indications. Also, it is true that you can use it with a MIDI keyboard, and it will do the same as it will do with an XK system. Now we can put the vibrato on, and then same like in a B3 you have different vibratos or chorus. This would be chorus 3, reverb 1, chorus 1, and then you can move from one to the other. Same thing for the lower keyboard. Now I'm controlling the lower keyboard. No. I'm not a lover of reverb, I have to say that. But you have the option, so. This is very interesting function. At least for those who, like me, who don't play pedals with the foot. So I play with my left hand, and this drawbar, remember it controls the lower the pedal. I press pedal to lower button, and what it does is to give volume, like if you are actually playing the bass with your foot. Better there. Also, if we add pedal sustain, you have some kind of sustain that gives like a more percussive. Again, when you press and maintain the button of any button in the organ, if you press it, you will see that the screen changes and you can actually adjust the parameters with the knob. You see how it changed the sound like that. So that's the explanation. One of the very important sections is the effects section. These three knobs in here, you may have a sound, a very jazzy sound, then suddenly you put the distortion, or you add an effect. We have a wah, but you can change to different effects. We'll put flanger, chorus, delay, whatever you want. To me, my favorite is wah. Then there's the reverb part. A very nice effect. And again, you can adjust by pressing the button. For a while, you can change in the menu the effect amount. Now we're going to see the function of transposing and putting scale up or down. Where it says octave, if we press any key, and then we go down. You have two octaves up and two octaves down. If we want to change the tune, you have to press transpose at the same time you press up or down. This is done because you may have a mistake and then a life, and then you change an octave and it's no problem, but if you change the tune, then you have a problem if you're playing live. So you need to press to make sure that you actually want to change the tune. If we press lower, we will be acting with the lower keyboard. And again, you have to press lower at the same time than you use the other ones. So lower at the same time. We're going to talk now about the split division of the organ, of the keyboard. It's very useful, especially when you just have one of the keyboards, you don't have the SK system. You can assign exactly to where, from what key to what key is the division, the split division, to have different sounds. Here you want to have it on the 3C, you put a 3C or 2B or whatever. And you have the control with you can control both drawbars. To be able to name a patch, a sound, what you do is you press menu, on page A, you have to go to patch, and then you press twice on the right arrow, then you press enter, and then that's where it says patch name, and it's where you can, using the value knob, you can put your own name, your preferred name. We can put, for example, new sound. Once you have one of the letters, then you press right button, and then it changes to the next letter. You need to go one by one, each of the letter, until you decide the name you want to have it. Then you press record, and it says enter to overwrite. Once you press enter, you overwrite, you save the sound and the name in the same patch where you had it before. Once you get the sound that you want, the sound that you have been trying to get with all the parameters, and you want to save it, you just press the record button, and you can change you can look for the sound that you want to override. Remember that the letter U means user. The sounds in F cannot be overwritten. So if we want to record this, we just press enter, and we would override it. So simple. Now I'm going to explain you how you can save the drawbar setting into the black keys, into the inverted keys. Just press record and then press the key at the same time. So simple as that. Check, for example, I'm pressing the other ones, and then I go back to E flat. Then it's what I just recorded. If you are not experts and you enjoy and you know how to tweak things and you know the digital things, my suggestion is you don't do it, because there will be a time where you will call me and say, how can I solve this thing? And I will just say, just do a reset to the factory settings. I myself do very little tweaking in the organ, and if you are not really used to it, it's good to reboot the system. You just switch the organ off, you press record button, and then you switch on the organ again. And hold it. You need to hold the record button until you find the sign in the saying loading default. Once it's done, you're back to the factory settings again. Okay, I think you have an idea, a general idea, of what the XK5 is. It's the best. It's the best organ you can find. And either if you have played a B3 or not, it's how you sit in the organ. And I get many people asking me that I've seen a keyboard or whatever. Well, my answer is always the same. This is the thing. This is the thing. You are talking a B3, and you are talking about people who is exclusively working to give you the sound of a B3, and with a respect for the tradition and for the organists that have played for so long to make this organ so famous and make all of us love it. So, for me to sit here it's like sitting in a B3. It's same kind of sensation, same kind of feeling. So if you can try to test it, of course right now it's more difficult because there's very little physical dealers. It's most online shops. But there's a lot of tutorials and video demonstrations where you can see, even in our own Hammond Spain website, you can see different videos. So don't doubt that if you decide to buy this organ, you will never regret. Thank you so much.